Presently, I am on deputation in Concor. I am from Indian Railway Traffic Service, 1991 batch, joined in 92, and I am from Central Railway. Before joining Container Corporation, I joined Container Corporation in April recently 2014, and before joining Container Corporation, I was working as Senior Divisional Operation Manager and Senior Divisional Commercial Manager in Mumbai Division. So very hectic life in particularly railways. So I will tell you about the Container Corporation, how it is doing, particularly the operation part, and what is its plan in future, and how it is going to grow, and what is the scope of containerization, particularly in India. So Concor, as you all know, is a multi-modal logistic professionals. It is incorporated in March 1988, came into operation in 1989, and it has been disinvested 3 times in 94, 95, 95, 96 and 98, 99, and presently Ministry of Railway is having the share of 63%, and public including FI is having 37%. It is listed company in both NSE and BSE. Its present price is ranging right from 1300 to 1450 rupees per share, and recently it has been declared as Navratna company. Earlier it was Miniratna. So it is Schedule A Navratna company, doing very well. So what are the various functions of the Concor? It is basically provide the logistic support in EXIM as well as the domestic industries, export import business and domestic in India. And particularly in the export import business, it is doing extremely well, and it is the leading in India because of its strength of railways and having number of rakes which is plying to carry this container from port to hinterlands. Second function is it designs, constructs and operates the dry ports, that is the ports in hinterlands, that is inland container depots, which very well connect with the ports by rail or by road. So we have most of the ICDs, inland container depots, which are basically rail operated. The train goes up to inside the ICD, and there are certain ICDs which are not connected with the rails. So we are operating, there is totally a road operation between the ports and ICDs. And second is the domestic terminals. There are certain terminals which is catering only the export imported and entirely, where the custom clearance takes place, and there are certain other terminals which are catering only the domestic part, and there are certain terminals which are catering both domestic as well as the EXIM traffic together, and it coordinates the pan-India containerized rail movement with first last mile road bridging, that is from door to door. We takes from the doorstep of the customer and delivers at the port where it goes to abroad. This is our traffic as on today by rail. We contribute almost 30 million tons which is moved by rail over an average lead of 1000 kilometer. As you know that the rail is cheaper when the distance is more, but when the distance is less, the road becomes cheaper. So almost an average of 1000 kilometer, where from the GT to various terminals, including Tughlakabad, that is in Delhi, which is almost 1300 kilometers from here, and almost 50% of the traffic is for TKD, Dadri, even DDL, Ludhiana, and it is a positive, environment friendly, cut down CO2 emission by over 1 million tons per annum. It also in the business, in the not only inland container depot, but operates the port terminals. That is a new, basically, totally a new for the Concor, in collaboration with the various international port operations. We have at present we are operating in 2 ports. One is in JNPT with the APM, that is Maersk, and second is in south near Kochi, that is with the collaboration with the DP World. We are also in the business of cold chain project, air cargo and auto car logistic. In cold chain, it is mostly confined to the Himachal, where the apples are put in the cold storage, and then as and when required, it is being basically comes in the market. Then air cargo, we have joint venture at the Sahara airport with the Mayan and doing very well in international as well as the domestic sector, and also in the auto car logistic. This is the present network of the container CONCOR terminals all over India. It is almost in every state, in most of the states, and where we have not having the presence, and where the rails is not going at present, like Uttaranchal or some other states, we are thinking of developing the multi-logistic parks there, so that the industry there will be benefited, and the business of CONCOR will go up. So right from west to east, north to south, almost we have at present 63 terminals. I will give you the details. So we have the 63 terminals throughout India as on today, in which the pure domestic is 15, the pure export import, that is the ICDs, are 13, including New Mulund, then Dronagiri terminal, then Khodiar at Ahmedabad, Tughlakabad is the biggest one, then Dadri, we are having the joint venture with various companies. This is a pure EXIM 13, then combined 35. We are both export ICDs and domestic, both are being dealt together. Like at Nagpur, we are dealing both as domestic as well as the international, by providing a separate boundary for dealing, but the rail portion is basically combined for both. So it is the most advantageous to have the combined ICDs. So what are the various services provided at the CONCOR terminals? We are somehow different from the railways. Railway is basically is totally in the transportation sector, where various transporters or various agencies, they comes to the railways, book the wagons, and then the wagon is placed in the goods shed, and then the cargo move from terminal to terminal. That is, the railway provides from terminal to terminal, and here CONCOR is basically providing other logistic services, other various facilities which is related with the movement of cargo. So not only the train handling, we have our own fleet of trains. Almost 250 trains are owned by the CONCOR, which has been basically purchased from the railways only, and these are of the latest technology, running with the 100 km/h speed. It is almost equal to the what the passenger trains or the mail express trains are moving. So the transit time, that is the advantage of having the high speed wagons, is the transit time is less as compared to the railway conventional wagons. Presently the railways also started designing the wagons almost equal to 100 kph. The container storage facility at the terminals, the custom facilitation at the ICD, where the customs they sit in the ICDs and they clear the containers, the export import containers, and then after clearance it is moved to the various ports for which it is meant. Then warehousing of cargo. Warehousing is must for the particularly the export import business. The cargo comes and then it is being examined by the customs, and even for the import cargo, when it comes inside the ICD, it has to be destuffed. Some of the, particularly not all, but some of the containers has to be destuffed, and then the custom examination is being done for verification. And in warehousing, it is a transit. There is just the cargo comes and then it is being stuffed in the container and the delivery goes. Bonded, where particularly the import field, the containers, whenever the customer, a particular customer wants that he wants to use the cargo which is imported as and when required. He doesn't want to create his own warehouse and keep a separate warehouse and basically keep on guarding that. So that facility is also the part of the terminals, particularly this export import ICDs, where the cargo is kept and the customer can take the part of the delivery. And LCL, that is less than container load. The basic advantage of the containerization is it can carry the basically cargo of any size or even less than container loads, which may not be possible for the railways to carry. As on earlier, the railway was carrying the piecemeal traffic, but it was consuming a lot of time. The trains were detained like anything. The speed of trains was very slow, almost it is 15 kmph. So they have basically decided that they will run only the full rake as block rakes. So not possible for the customer who can carry the full load traffic, full rail traffic by rail. They can use the containerization, container traffics. Container is the best suited to them. Even less than container loads, it can be basically consolidated. It can, for a particular destination, 4, 5 customer, or even the 11, 13, 6, whatever the number of customers can use that single container for taking to the destination. Then associated value-added service, then door-to-door solution. Whenever customer wants that this cargo has to be taken from their factory, we provide our own transportation and take the contents to their doorstep, stuff from the factory, take to the terminals, and then deliver at the destination. Then also handle the railway wagons in selected solution. What happened when the cargo, or where there are certain locations where ICDs are not available, where rail handling is there, they want to move the cargo in that is huge quantity, almost 3,000 tons at a time. Then they use the railway wagons for taking that cargo. It comes to the ICD for custom examination as well as for stuffing in the containers. Like our Dronagiri rail terminals, the number of rakes comes, that is particularly DOC and other grains product, they come there. The containers are kept ready. The beauty is that your railway wagons is immediately released, and the containers which are being placed in advance are immediately stuffed, and it can, after custom examination, it can directly go to the ports. So that is basically a cheaper solution for the customer also. So whenever their load is of the tune of more than 3,000 tons, better that they use the railway wagons and then come to the ICD and stuff in the containers for the further movement. Now this is the view of our rail yard operation in ICD Tughlakabad, which is the biggest ICD as on today as far as the CONCOR is concerned, handling almost 10 to 11 rakes per day. The maximum traffic for the ticket is from all the 3 ports, that is Pipavav, Mundra as well as Jain port. This is the RMG operation, rail mounted gantry, where the 3 trains can be, the 3 lines are there which can be dealt simultaneously. Very fast operation, the train can be dealt in 3 hours as compared to the railway wagons, which is a manual operation, it's a totally mechanized one. The railway wagons takes almost 9 to 12 hours. So the basic advantage of the basic containerization is the operation is also very fast. The release of wagons is very fast. The turnaround of the wagons is very fast. This is basically at ICD Dadri in northern India. It is again a rail ICD having joint venture with certain companies. This is a road tire gantry. This is again totally a mechanized operation there. This is the warehouse. This is inside view of the warehouse. Latest technology is being used so that the minimum manpower is involved. Forklift, cranes, other things. The cargo is also palletized. Whenever the cargo is basically going abroad, it is basically palletized, so that minimum handling is there. The minimum damage to the cargo is there, and it is being monitored by the CCTVs. It is surveyed by the surveyors, so that nothing untoward happens in the warehouse. all safety precautions are being taken. Whenever the hazardous cargo is being dealt, railway is not taking the hazardous cargo as it is in the loose. But for the export-import business, the hazardous cargo is permitted because they are basically whatever the guidelines of the international norms are there, they are basically fulfilling all the norms. Their packaging, their stuffing, their handling part, everything is being taken care of for hazardous cargo. And there is a lot of scope in basically, again, in dealing with the hazardous cargo. There are many more scope. This is the company turnover of that is for the years. That is in crores. That is one is the basically operation and second is the overall 4743. This is the basically last year turnover. It was 4,743 crores as and in which 4,406 was the from the operation. And this year, it is in 2013-14, last year, it was reached to 5,335 crores. 5,335 crores, almost a growth of 12%. And this year, again, we are expecting the growth of almost 10 to 12%. This is the trend of business year-wise, domestic, EXIM, and total. Domestic, of course, it is less as compared as what it should be, and maximum is basically the export-import business. Domestic is less because railway themselves are carrying the domestic business, so they are the major carrier. So we never clash what the railways carry. The customer of the railways are not at all. We are not competing with the railways. We are basically adding to the railways, which the railways cannot carry. We basically add to them. That is, and major is the basically export-import business and domestic also. So this is in terms of 20 equivalent unit, 20 fit containers, 20 equivalent units. This is the total number of containers which has been handled. The key performance parameters, the throughput in TUs, it is 1112 and 1213. Rail traffic million tons in 1112 it was 28.29 and 1213 it was 30.62, and again in 1314 it was 34.6 million tons which we carried. Total income 1213 was 4743 crores, out of which and the profit after taxes was 940.03 crores. And this year, in 13-14, the total income was 5,335 crores. And this is what the dividend paid to the railways out of this 940 crores. So this is the what the container Concor having this so much assets as on today. Number of container rakes 270. Each container is having 90 wagons. They are running at 100 km/h. Besides 270, we have around 80 rakes, which are basically railways wagons, which Concor has modified it to suit to carry the containers on it. Their speed is not 100 kmph, but of course it is almost equal to the railway wagon speed. This container rakes, I just want to add more things, that these rakes are basically examined for a almost 7,000 kilometer. So once it is examined, particularly if it is examined and ticketed, it takes 3 round trips. So the time involved for the examination is basically you save that time. So turnaround of the rakes, because it cost, whenever you purchase the rake, it costs. So it is better to have the faster turnaround of rakes. It is by basically moving at a higher kilometers, examining for the higher kilometers. Then second is moving at a higher speeds. So these both are being taken care in the Concor. Then number of containers domestic, we have our own containers, 19,000, which are basically purchased by Concor, and some containers are basically taken on lease basis also over and above this 19,000 containers. We own 14 gantry cranes, which is placed at mostly Dadri and Tughlakabad. Whatever at the Tughlakabad RMGs and RTGs, these are totally owned by the Concor, and they are basically also maintained by the Concor. So they have the separate division to basically look after the cranes and other important machines. Number of reach tracker, we have 53 reach tracker. We are planning to add more and more this RTGs and RMGs. RTGs and RMGs, they are basically whenever the volume is more, it's better to have the rail mounted gantry to have faster handling of the rakes. Company is procuring around 1300 wagons from the Indian Railway Workshop every year. It's almost of the tune of 12 rakes per 15 rakes per annum. This year, in the 14-15, we are planning to procure 21 rakes, out of which 7 has already been procured. That has already come.
Each rake would have how many wagons?
Each is having 90 wagons, 90. And we are also in the process of acquiring 3,000 containers and 5 gantry cranes. Because if you want the faster, because particularly for the customer, what they want that their transit time should be less, their cost should be less, and there should be a minimum handling of cargo. That should be there. So to basically, it is the demand of the market that we have to have basically a faster turnaround of the containers, faster turnaround of the rakes. So where the number of containers handled are more, we always plan the gantry cranes so that the fast operation takes place. Tughlakabad, Dadri, then again we are planning for this gantry cranes at Khodiar, where it is going to come up like anything. It is on the particular highway. Now this is a totally different business model for Concor, not their own, but also through joint venture routes. We have the 2 joint venture companies for the port terminals operations. At one is at Jain Port, where Gateway Terminal of India, you must be knowing, handling the maximum number of containers there. In the 3 lines, they are dealing the 50% of the traffic out of 8 lines. So they are very efficient in particularly this train operation, and number of containers dealt are also maximum at the GTI. Then one is at Kerala, Velar Padam, which is with the DP World, and this Jain Port is with the APM terminal. One joint venture with the rail road transport with the TCI. And we have the 6 joint venture companies for CFS operation, 5 in Dadri and 1 in Ghari Harsud. These things are not possible, may not be possible for the railways, or may takes too much time. But once it is for the Concor, which is a public sector undertaking, having the powers to create the joint venture companies, and it facilitates the business for the Concor. And we have the one JVC for the terminal operations in Nepal. This is near that's Bihar and Nepal border. One JVC with Sitkul for development and operation of logistic park in Uttarakhand, where the rail cannot reach. So we are basically, that is under development. One joint venture working group with the HL in Nasik, Hindustan Aeronautic Limited. It is again public sector undertaking company. The Concor wishes to continue exploiting the growth opportunities and has drawn up the growth agenda as under for the existing market, setting up of the new logistic parks and hub terminals. Whenever for a particular terminal the containers, 19 containers is not possible, it is better to move in the hub and spoke system. So we have created a lot of hub and spoke terminals where the containers for the 2 destination goes, and then it can be consolidated for the particular terminal and can cater to a particularly smaller basically terminals, which is not possible for the railways to do. It is possible for the Concor to do optimization along the transport chain, then increasing the existing hinterland terminals, increase the container wagons, which we are doing as on today, out of is almost 15 to 20 rakes per annum we are adding. There are so many players. What is the hindrance is basically in procuring the number of wagons is that now the number of players has come in this particular sector, and the number of companies which is basically in this manufacturing of the wagons are less. So everybody is ordering and they have their own limitations. But we are determined to have almost 20 rakes per annum to add, so that what is the increased demand in the market, that should cater. Because this year, this particular 14-15 financial year, the number of import has increased abruptly. It was beyond the imagination. The number of rakes which the CONCOR were having were not able to cater. So there was a certain congestion in ports. So because we were not able to clear the containers, the business was there, but because of the lack of infrastructure, particularly the rail wagons, we were not able to carry it. But we are basically looking forward to have more and more rakes in the system, so that once the containers come at the port, it should not detain, it should not be there beyond 3 days. That is our target, so that once it is booked from the destination, it takes 15 days to come here. Then if it remains 15 days in the ICD, it is just meaningless for us to provide such type of service. Then development opportunities in new markets, that is new markets in like air cargo business, in cold chain project and port terminals. So terminal joint ventures for the port as well as the inland terminals, and we have the intermodal joint ventures for the global markets, including at Bangladesh. So this is the strategic vision. CONCOR continue to be the leading player in India for rail-based intermodal services. It is the leading, no doubt about it, third-party logistic services provider of India, with inclusive the logistic capabilities. CONCOR integrate the rail, road, sea and the air cargo logistics and operate the multimodal cargo hubs in India. And it emerged as the strong terminal operator for ports, inland depot and air cargo hubs. Air cargo business is presently a recent activity which basically CONCOR has started, and it is doing very well, and we are looking for basically having a more adding more air cargo business, particularly in the south, there is Chennai and other sector too. It extends the operation in the foreign countries and emerge in the league of international operators. Around 6 to 7 years back, we have started our own containers to go abroad. We have started that. So we basically, CONCOR is basically taking initiative in finding the entering in the new sector, so that the competition takes place and the customer is finally basically benefited. So we have moved our own domestic containers to China and other countries. Of course, it was with the joint venture, but it finally could not take off much, but it is there. The plans for the augmentation rail freight logistic, particularly the multi-modal logistic parks. After coming of this DFC, that is dedicated freight corridor, where the maximum, the whole freight trains will move through that corridor. It is at the top agenda of the government. The Surface Transport Ministry had visited recently, around 3 months back, to Mumbai, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, and he was totally after this, that this should come up. Such was the basically their commitment. The pace which was going for this dedicated freight corridor was slow, but after this government commitment, we hope that by 2019-20, the western corridor will come up. There are certain hurdles, particularly for the acquisition of land. The acquisition of land they were able to do at Gujarat, that is in Rajasthan they did not get any problem, but yes, Maharashtra, there were certain problems. They were not able to get certain land because even some part of the land is not available, they will not be able to go up to the ports. So So that is go right up to the port. The best, that is beauty part is, it will carry only the freight trains, number one. Number two, the train length, which is as on today, is say 48 wheelers or 45 8-wheelers carrying almost 3600 tons, will carry the double its capacity. So it will carry 80 wagons, 85 wagons in one go. And for the containers, not only the double, but also double stack rate. That is, instead of 90, it will carry 360 TEUs at a time. So the evacuation of the port and the transit time of the containers will be very less. As on today, the container is taking almost 38 to 42 hours to reach to Delhi, which is going to take within 24 hours it will reach. So that is the beauty. So as on today, what is the traveling time by rail? It is going to take the same time by rail for move the containers. So once it is going, which is basically going to basically add on the growth of India, and the industry is also going to grow by coming this dedicated freight corridor. So multimodal logistic park being established for rail access for container trains for the movement in both EXIM and the domestic sectors. We have already started developing the multimodal logistic park, and particularly when this dedicated freight corridor will come, the many multimodal logistic parks is going to come up along that route. One multimodal logistic park we have already developed, it is at Khatwas in Rajasthan, where the multimodal logistic almost 250 acres of land we have already taken, and it will going to deal both domestic as well as the EXIM business. Not only that, certain companies will also be given the land there so that they can rework their cargo there, or they can do certain added service including their packing, resizing something. So the total, the cost for the customer will go down, and each and everything can be done at one point. The railway wagons can come, can go to the containers and can go directly delivered to the ports. So that is the best part of having the multimodal logistic parks. The multimodal logistic park will also have the access to the Indian Railway freight wagons, that is the BCN or N-box open wagons, for loading, unloading of the bulk cargo under the PFT, that is a private freight terminal policy. So we have the PFT as on today at some of the terminals, but this multimodal logistic park, they all will be under PFT model, so that we can deal these BCN wagons. Any customer can bring the BCN, because unless we are PFT, we cannot carry the wagons of the other customer. Then MLP is to have the inland container depots, dry ports. Each MLP has this domestic container terminals facilities, railway goods shed facilities, including the rail side warehousing, then specialized warehousing, all these three, transit, bonded, as well as the cold chain, etc. that I already explained what are these terms mean. This is a 12th five-year plan, just go hurriedly. This is a planned expenditure during the 12th five-year plan, 6,000 crores. Logistic park development in 15 terminals, and land acquisition, 1,500 crores. Terminal development, 1,500 crores, almost same as the cost of the land acquired. Rolling stock, 120 rakes, and 6,000 containers, it is 1,500 crores. Then equipment, particularly latest technology equipment, RTGs, RMGs, and RST trailers, 200 crores. Other ventures, 1,300 crores. So this is our capex plan, rolling stock, and this is the financial year 14 targets in rupees crores. Rolling stock acquisition, terminal development, then investment in the JVs and the subsidiaries, then land acquisition. The major hurdle is basically land acquisition. The Land Acquisition Act has been basically amended, but we are basically again having the meeting with the government so that these rules can be amended or can make some ease to suit the development of particular and taking over the land. These are the various locations where the Concor has already started the MMLP or going to start. So almost more than 12 such locations are there. At Kila, Raipur, Punjab, 150, and it is basically we have tied up with this Punjab State Warehousing Corporation. Then Uttarakhand at Pantnagar, 40 acres. It is already under development. The land has already been acquired. At Haridwar, Uttarakhand, 35 acres of land. At Khatwas, Rajasthan, 280 acres of land, which is already came into operation. Of course, as and today, this is only a transit, basically where the double stack containers comes from Pipavav and Mundra to Khatwas, and then the containers move by single stack to TKD or Dadri or even Ludhiana. And again from the TKD we takes the single stack container and then it is moved in double stack from this. So number of rakes requirement is reduced and the evacuation of this port, particularly the containers, the import containers, is also very fast. Then Swarupganj at Rajasthan with the state government. Then Chhattisgarh, Gujarat at Vadodara. Then Maharashtra, even also MP near Indore. Then Jharsuguda at Odisha. This is also under development. Then Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. So minimum 100 to 200 acres is required, but wherever the land is the problem, we have to basically satisfy ourselves with even the 20 acres of land. Thank you very much.